New York City is one of the only places on earth where the story of human ambition is literally written in stone, steel, and glass. But before it became a forest of skyscrapers, Manhattan was a completely different world, covered in hills, rivers, dense forests, and native Lenape settlements. In the early 1600s, when Dutch explorers first arrived, they could have never imagined that this quiet island would one day become the architectural capital of the world. Their first structures were nothing more than wooden houses, trading posts, and windmills built in a small settlement they called New Amsterdam. Narrow dirt roads, small farms, and taverns made up the earliest version of the city. But everything changed in 1664, when the English took control and renamed it New York. Under English rule, the city grew fast. New stone buildings, larger docks, and more structured streets began forming the early skeleton of the city we know today. Immigrants from across the globe began to pour in. With every ship that arrived, New York's culture changed, and so did its architecture. German craftsmen brought new building techniques. Italians introduced stone carving styles. The Irish built roads and tunnels. And Jewish immigrants shaped new neighborhoods. By the mid-1800s, New York became one of the busiest cities in the world, filled with factories, warehouses, and thousands of tenement buildings rising to accommodate the booming population. These were dark, overcrowded, but necessary steps in New York's architectural journey. But the real revolution began when two game-changing elements arrived: steel framing and the elevator. These two inventions completely changed what humans could build. Suddenly, buildings didn't have to stay low. They could rise as high as technology allowed. The era of skyscrapers had begun. One of the first iconic examples was the Flatiron Building, completed in 1902. People were stunned by its triangular shape and incredible height. Newspapers at the time called it a monstrosity that would fall in the first strong wind. But it still stands today, one of the most beloved landmarks in the city. In 1913, the Woolworth Building opened its doors, known as the Cathedral of Commerce. Its Gothic design, intricate details, and height made it one of the most admired buildings in the world. Soon after, New York entered the golden age of Art Deco architecture. This was the era that truly defined the city's personality. The Chrysler Building, completed in 1930, became a symbol of elegance with its stainless steel crown and geometric designs. Then came the Empire State Building, completed in just 410 days during the Great Depression, giving hope to millions of struggling Americans. For many years, it stood as the tallest building in the world. Its construction photos, workers casually sitting on steel beams hundreds of feet above ground, became iconic images of American courage. After World War II, a new architectural style took over: modernism. Simple straight lines, glass facades, and minimal ornamentation became the new trend. One of the best examples is the United Nations headquarters, completed in the 1950s, representing peace, diplomacy, and international unity. But the city was far from finished. In the 1970s, New York built the original World Trade Center, two massive twin towers that became symbols of American power and engineering brilliance. For decades, they dominated the skyline, until the tragic events of 9/11 changed the world forever. But New York did what it always does. It rebuilt. The new One World Trade Center, rising from the same ground, stands not only as the tallest building in the Western Hemisphere, but also as a monument of resilience, strength, and remembrance. In the 21st century, New York entered the era of super talls, extremely thin skyscrapers reaching unimaginable heights. On Billionaires Row near Central Park, towers like 432 Park Avenue and Central Park Tower challenge everything we thought was possible in architecture. Their slender structure is so thin that they sway slightly in the wind, yet they stand taller than almost every building in the United States. Today, New York's skyline is a timeline, a living museum where every building represents a different chapter of history. The Dutch huts, The English stone houses, the tenement era, the age of steel, Art Deco masterpieces, modern glass towers, and futuristic super doors. Each one tells a story of the people who built it, the dreams they carried, and the struggles they overcame. New York City never stops building and never stops reaching higher. And in every brick, every beam, and every glass panel, there is a message. This is the city where the impossible becomes normal, and the sky is never the limit.